Everything in this video is for general information and educational purposes only. Nothing presented constitutes financial product advice, personal advice, or a recommendation to acquire or deal in any financial products. Any examples are illustrative only and should not be relied upon as indicators of future performance, as past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
All right, everybody, welcome to the first of the Slimy's Monday morning quickies. Just going to do a quick run through of some couple of charts I'm looking at, set myself up for my weekly bias and also daily bias. Monday's a good day to do it because in the time zone I'm in, we end up with a CME gap, which you can see, which has been established here on the Bitcoin chart. So that's the gap between the CME price from when it closed the evening and Saturday morning for me, which is Friday night. US time until it starts up again, which is early Monday morning for me. But in the case of the US, yeah, it's the evening on Sunday night. Anyway, let's get into it. So here we are on the full screen chart. I'm going to get annoyed by these alerts popping up all the time, but just ignore them for the minute. Actually, I'll turn the sound off to them as we go here because it will just be in my ear the whole time. Rightio. So basically, longer time frame. Says the daily chart up here on Coinbase. You can see we're sitting inside this order block. We've had a little bounce off the yearly rolling VWAP, value area high. Nice little couple little wicks in there, sitting in here. This doesn't look too bad. This looks even though we've rejected pull down, we haven't had a sharp pull down. Sort of bit of controlled selling happening here. I'm going to piss this off because that's now irrelevant because that trade's already played out. You can see we've ended up with the three drives. So let's sort of say here's the first drive, second drive, third drive. We're down in here. I'm expecting we should get some sort of reversal here. We've got the 8 on the 39 or CS9 coming in here. As you can see, it's been quite reliable. For tops, not so much for bottoms lately, but it's just a sign of exhaustion anyway. You can see it played out here previously as well. So yeah, it's a good indication that that we're sort of getting to the end of this particular run. 12-hour chart looks very similar. So the biggest thing at the moment here is this CME gap that we've got. You'll also notice that we have this massive CME gap here. So overall, at some point this should close. It's very rare that any are left behind. In fact, you have to go back quite some way to find one. So it's still an 8% gap there. So that's an impressive move just to fill that gap. Normally what happens, it will overshoot quite a bit once the gap's closed, and then it'll start to stabilize from there. So the longer this goes on though, the less force or less attractiveness it has. So it'll probably just close at some other random time. To be honest, I thought it was going to close pretty quickly. So yeah, normally, more often than not, they close within the first couple of days. So here we are with a gap below and a gap above. So yeah, it's quite an interesting scenario. But in the shorter time frames, I think we will close this gap, probably get wick down something like that, and then move on. That's my base case at the moment, I guess you would say. Moving on to 30-minute chart, you can see it's a little bit more clearer. We've got a bit of a downtrend there, so we try to get above there, but got some rejection there. That was probably coming into the weekend. Yeah, Friday, massive sell-off, and yeah, that's where we are. So I'm thinking maybe down here, close a gap, bounce off the 91-day or something like that. If we get the LTVW in here, we've got the monthly standard deviation, second deviation down here as well. Yeah, that's about it. I'd like to flick over to the 12-hour chart here. This has got a few other indicators on it that I like. The 12 hours, so I've been using the 12-hour chart for my my swing trading, and yeah, combining it with the CS9 to give us sort of these tops here, which have been pretty good, and bottoms as well, and the double smooth stochastic. So I set this up with this Blau method primarily. We can show you what the Brexit does. So Brexit is a little bit more volatile, right? So it basically gets down to these lows a lot faster. So I think I prefer the Blau method for 12-hour. It's just a bit smoother, a little bit more refined, and give you the sort of longer time frame versions. But yeah, just back test these things on different time frames, and see if one works out for you. It just gives you a bit of extra confluence when things are turning shit. Geez, we've got some alerts coming in now. I think we're going to have some sort of capitulation shortly, hopefully all the way down to close that CME. Anyway, at the moment, yeah, I've been adding to my spot positions in here. We had this sort of divergence here, which has normally been historically quite good. There you can see the divergence there and there. I actually thought we were going to get a push out of here, but yeah, so it wasn't the case. But yeah, at the moment, still in all my spot swing positions. I made some good trades through this whole area here. So yeah, I've been trading the swings from way back, and not back in April, in here somewhere. So yeah, this has been quite good for me. I traded both, definitely traded the top of that one, bottom of that one, top of that one. So in the process here, I managed to make some good trades in here. So saving yourself 7% there, giving yourself a nice 10% bonus there, saving yourself another 10% down here. Where was I getting in here? Also, yeah, got in pretty heavily here, and yeah, just traded out a fair bit of my short-term positions in this area here. But I've holding on to the longer term positions here. But now we're down here, I think we might be good to get a bit of a reversal happening. And as you can see, the cipher's getting way down there as well. So this is a good indicator, as you can see as well. Cipher's, if we get a green dot here shortly, that will give us the indication that we might get a reversal. And the alerts are pinging off everywhere. Let's have a look at some of the shit that's going on. What do we got? Let's go to Scour. I'll just have a quick look at some of these alerts live for you now. So let's go into here, 30 minutes. Let's go, what's Co's up to? Yeah, so I think we're going to get, this is early days here, people. I think we're going to get some sort of capitulation happening here. So yeah, don't get in front of this too much. These are all just starting to roll over. We're just getting the first of the alerts. Like something like this. Not sure what it's doing on there. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to clean this whole chart up. Something like this. Piss that off. And get some wrong VWAPs and some MAs in here. Look, we've got these strong levels down here, so I'd be expecting we at least get down here. And you can see there's a bit of a trend. This is a bit of a trend line up like this. This is the first break. We want to see more like some sort of, something like that. Give us much more confidence to get in long. This sort of first drop scenario. These sometimes work out if you've got like a nice wedge pattern forming or something like that, and you get a little quick liquidity sweep through it. This is not that scenario. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for something a bit deeper than that. Yeah, Cetus is shooting itself at the moment, so let's go to the 4-hour chart, see where we're at. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. We could come down to any of these spots down here, to be honest. Let's go back to 30 minutes. I've got too many things open here. Wait, I'll just close this down. Yeah, we don't need those in the picture at the moment. Alright. As you can see, we've got a long way to go down here. We've just had this first sweep of these levels. I don't think we're going to get a reversal right this second, mainly because Bitcoin's got a bit to go down here. We've still got a bit to go to close this gap down here. So regardless of what some of these charts look like, any movement on Biddy is going to drag this down. We might get a little bump back up, but this might be just a backside retest of that level, and then down, and then down, and then get the sweep down here. So this is what I'll be looking for on pretty much any of these charts. So they're all going to look at something similar. We've just got the first dump. We've got levels down here that could be taken, that would have liquidity sitting underneath them. So just got to think of like where everyone's stops are. Anybody buying up through this section here, they're putting their stops in these areas over here, and this is where you want to see the some sort of bounce from. So we want to see this sort of scenario. So we're waiting to see what happens here. I think every chart's got to look the same. Every chart will look the same. Yep. All right, so that's probably enough of that shit. Let's go look at some scalps. Let's go look. Oh, quickly have a look at ETH as well. So this is my ETH chart here. So here we go, the full screen chart. I'm a little bit concerned about this here. We don't want this right shoulder to form of this head and shoulders pattern. That would be pretty ugly. And kind of move sort of another sort of downtrend. Even on the shorter time frames, you could see, yeah, we could easily come up here, bounce off the 18-day, which has been a strong level. That would actually spell a bit more sort of downside for us. At the moment, this whole weekend move was pretty crazy, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't trade any of that. I don't think so anyway, can't remember now. But in the end, we do have a CME gap here, so starting to watch the CME gaps on ETH now, just in case they become relevant in the future. I think they're less relevant than Bitcoin, but as the ETH ETFs get a bit hotter, we've got some massive flows in there. I can see this scenario happening as you get bigger people, institutions playing, and no way to hedge their positions over the weekends. Then this sort of creates this scenario where we have the CME gap. Some of these charts look pretty ugly on the 4 hour. Yeah, on the 4 hour you can see we've got some order blocks here. They've been well respected, and we've got our CME gap down here as well. So it seems only natural that we'll get back down there. There is a bit of a longer term trend line from way back here that might play out as well. So that's all. That's where the the interesting points are. I'm going to piss that off because that's now become irrelevant. These are all irrelevant. So yeah, if you were trading this anyway, you can see we had a downtrend. We had that the shift there, and then the retest, and then we went. So just look for things like this. So this sort of change of character, get the shift, and away you go. But in this case, we could be seeing the exact same scenario. So how deep this comes in here, my preference, and I'd be more confident if we come down and at least take this CME gap down here. As you can see, there's a fair bit of volume coming in here. I don't have my get the liquidity hunter in here, and you can see some volume coming in here with this Coinbase, getting quite a rise in the. Might just change that to 300. So yeah, not seeing a great deal of volume, to be honest. Yeah, so not even considering longing this at the moment. We're going to probably get a little bounce out of here, but we're not doing this. I'd say we're doing these ones down here. Take the CME gap and go. Because we've got this level down here, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually gets down there and has a go. But that's what I'm looking at. So yeah, there's no trades in this at all for me at the moment. Obviously, you want to look for the highest probability trades. At the moment, that's not what's happening. Sol is, yeah, you can see. I don't know what all these squiggles are on here for. Clearly, I was looking for a head and shoulders there. That's played out. Was probably waiting for the sweep of that, never happened. So we're just in this kind of a range here. That's on the 30-minute. We on the 4 hour over here. As you can see, I like to draw my ranges as so this is all one down movement. We got the up movement there. Actually, this is ugly as hell. I would normally draw that in there as a range, but that's ugly. So yeah, there's not much happening with Sol here. I could say it's just going to drop with the markets as everything else has to fill the gaps. That means we'll probably get here or down here. 18 days been pretty good here and here. And there is reaction points. So I might have a closer look at some of these anyway. Developing quarterlies here as well. So yeah, I'm going to be basically this will probably bounce around here after this initial move, and then finally give us some sort of capitulation down here. I think. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think it's more just very very momentary. I think we'll get back on the up train shortly. Got a bit of a trend line happening here. Yeah, so it all coincides with these sort of areas down here. Sorry about how messy this is. I need to turn some of this shit off. Yeah, anyway, let's look at scalps. So here we are, scalpy. This is looking pretty hot for a bounce, but we need to get down to that CME gap, which is still down here. So my expectation is we're probably going to get a short bounce in a minute. Straight out of this, as you can see, we're absolutely, there's volume coming in here. This is pretty crazy actually. But as you can see here, even though you get some, crazy amount of selling going down, it doesn't really mean it's the bottom, right? You can get some other sweeps with another bit of chop there, still came down, right? So I'm expecting a similar scenario to this. With a massive amount of selling, just continuous selling into that. Still got another sweep down, still got another sweep down there. So that's the sort of scenario I'm thinking at the moment, even though we've got stacks of open interest being thrown in there. Yeah. If there's a little bounce here, I'm only expecting it to meet up with some EMAs and then keep coming back down until we get down and fill this gap here. Might have to flick over to the actual futures chart at some point and just make sure we are tracking the right price, because obviously the futures price is the important one, not the chart price. So that CME tool is just on the chart. So the way I do this is I go onto this chart and I change this to a line. And then I can see where the CME price gaps are. Try not to draw over the chart accidentally. So the close was here, and here the price is here. So we've still got another 0.5% to drop just to close the CME gap there. So yeah, long and short of that is I'm not getting too excited for a reversal just now. I think she's going to drop in a bit deeper. And that's the end of that. Alright, so let's have a look at some of the others. Same deal, this is pretty crazy price action. We'll probably get a bounce off this level here. But I think this is just gonna basically do a backside retest. Come down to these levels here. This is where I want to be trading. So for nice high conviction trades, I'm going to be looking down here for something like this, right? So wherever this gets to down here. Otherwise, it's just going to be a short-term bounce. So if this gets really deep, really crazy in this one move, I might think about putting a trade on there. But just like I said before, I'm going to be looking for the short-term bounce. I'm going to be getting out real quick, just because I believe there is more downside to this, significantly more. And so let's see, so just did the same, got another level here. And you've got to remember these are weekend levels too, so I don't know what we've just been dropping in open interest the whole time anyway, as people over the weekend were basically getting chopped up and stopped out. So this is all pretty much a piss off, which is Jesus. Couple of good levels down here to look for. So at the moment I'm just going to be probably just sitting on my hands at the moment. Going to see one of those, like this. This is the scenario I want to see, right? I want to see Sol come back under this $200 mark with some sort of aggressive sell-off. Look, we've dug pretty deep here. We probably will get a good bounce from here. I don't know if I want to trade that, just because it is probably shooting itself. Want to see a bigger reaction. This is just controlled selling. Somebody's pushing it down to close these gaps. Let's not get in the way of that, is all I can say. Actually, I'm not even going to bother doing these other ones. I'm going to post this video so you can all watch it, and yeah, rather than me jabbering on about the same shit, but yeah, exactly the same. We've got all these levels down here. We've got downward pressure from the CME gap. I reckon we just do those ones. Let's see, XLM, there's been another one that's been trading with this system. Same deal, let's see what happens down here. Let's see what happens down there, and we'll give it a go. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Hope that was fun, and I will speak to you all next time.
If you enjoyed this content today, please smash the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. So if you want to learn how to trade and really master the markets, see the links down in the description below, where you'll find links to our premium indicator suite, our infamous premium Discord group, and the Market Mastery 3 training course, where you'll learn not only how to trade with our trading style and our premium indicators, but also get a well-rounded view of the macro economy and liquidity cycles.